High achieving women, we put so much pressure on ourselves to get the job done. But when the job is yourself, you can't rush. This is not just something that this is something that you have to constantly make an effort to become better every single day, on top of each day, on top of each moment. If you're simply listening to this podcast and you take 3 deep breaths, that's helping with healing yourself. And if you do that every single day, every time you feel stressed, that's just a little way that you can help yourself with feeling. Welcome back, everyone, to the Rebirth Sanctuary podcast. I'm your host, Coach Nich, and here on this podcast, we are helping high achieving women who are suffering from burnout, anxiety, and are looking for more mindful ways to help with their weight loss, their stress reduction, and just to live a better life to become the best version of themselves. Today on this podcast, I thought I'd get a little raw and vulnerable with you all and share with you guys some thoughts that I wrote in my phone when I was at the height of my burnout. I was going back through certain things in my journals and certain things that I'm writing on my phone and just watching the journey as an observer now from the person who's on the other side. And it was really, it was emotional. It was also very telling of what I was going through during that time. And so this episode is for that high achieving woman who might be currently facing burnout. Maybe you know someone who is experiencing it, and just to hear the evolution and to see where my thought process was back then. And I also find it so interesting for me to have the awareness to know, like, hey, I need to write these thoughts down right now. It's going to be healing for my journey. And I don't think I was thinking this at the time, but it probably is going to help somebody else. So today I'm going to read straight from the phone of the things that I have learned. And this was about 6 months ago, 5 months ago. So at a different place in my life for sure. So some things I've learned on having burnout. There is no quick fix. Ain't that the truth? Nothing in life is a quick fix, right? Like everything takes time, but we don't always want to accept that things can take time. With time, you gain wisdom of yourself and on what your needs are. That's definitely come to fruition for sure. I didn't have the wisdom that I have now to even share my experiences on burnout, to be coaching about burnout. When I started talking about this subject, I was definitely going through burnout, but I don't even think that I was really in the eye of the storm until 2025 really kicked my ass. And so what I know now, what I share with you all now from my experiences, it's from a totally different lens. And so with going through trials and tribulations, there's definitely gems and wisdom within those storms that we face. So I'm happy to see that this version of myself that I'm reading about, she witnessed that. Mental health isn't the only component. What you eat and spiritual practices matter too. Be mindful of your energy. Some days you will be a speed racer, and others you will need to show yourself grace to take it slow. Self-loathing will only make it last longer. I'm chuckling because I definitely was in a state of self-loathing a lot. When I was in the heart of it, why me? Why am I going through this? Why does it have to be so hard? I just want to build a business. I just want to get over this hump. I want to feel like myself again. And it was hard to see myself in that light because I'm pretty positive for the most part, and I'm always encouraging other people to be better and not get down on themselves. But as we all know, when it comes to yourself and when you're in the thick of it, it's tough to do that. So I extend a lot of grace to this version of me, and knowing that it's not only about mental health, and I'm a big advocate for mental health and do the therapy, do the somatics, but you are what you eat. My journey has always started with what I put inside my body. It's a machine. This is how I fuel it. And so knowing that fruits, vegetables, having less processed food, that is important because when you are in a mental state where you are only seeing clouds and darkness and you're drinking a lot, if you're doing drugs, if you're putting things that are not optimal for your body, it's just going to continue to put you on a downward spiral because that food isn't fueling you. It's only making you feel less and less of a person, really. That comes to the point where you're just eating for your emotional needs. And the spirituality aspect, getting more in tune with God, my ancestors, with myself, that part has been extremely, extremely healing and important to go back to who am I? It's what's led to my self-discovery. Carving out break time in your day allows you to breathe and get back into your body. I learned this the hard way because I hold so much tension in my shoulders, and that's having the weight of the world, that feeling in your body. And there was an episode where we talked about human design and how my not so theme self is getting angry and frustrated. And when I do, I feel it immensely in my shoulders, in my neck. That's what stems from the headaches, the migraines. And so not carving out time when I'm just going from task to task to task. I got to get this done. I have a meeting. I have to be able to do a podcast episode or make content, and not slowing down has really hurt me. And that has heightened my burnout as well because it's the doing. It's feeling like I'm not getting enough done. I have to achieve more to be able to be more successful when that equation has not been working for me, but it's what I'm programmed to do. So rewiring this, I started going outside just for 10, 15 minutes, putting a timer on because I had to make sure I was still getting my stuff done and just enjoying the sun. And that was healing. Small increments lead up to big changes. Cleansing with teas and water is great for a reset to clear brain fog. Absolutely. The days where I didn't eat, I would sometimes do like one Sunday out the month, and I felt better because I'm clearing out the debris. I'm allowing my chi to flow. Things have been stagnant. You want things to move. When you're constantly eating, compiling food upon food, your body never gets a break. And it allows my mind to be clear. And I felt better on those days than some days when I was eating. And people, it might take some time to be able to have a day when you're not eating anything. But I know in the church there are plenty of people who do like a Daniel's fast, and there are people who are encouraged to fast. Some people do a dry fast. And the spiritual things that can happen and just feeling the clarity inside of your mind. And that's one thing that people who are going through mental health are constantly struggling with, is they don't feel clear. They don't feel like themselves. And so I believe that this gives you an opportunity to be able to clear the dust away. Nature is your best friend. Mother Nature really is. I feel aligned. I feel energetically charged when I'm in Mother Nature. My breathing gets deeper. I feel whole. Even on the darkest days, I'll bring my tears to the river, cry it out, ground, put my feet in the sand or wherever I am, and just be. That's what a lot of us don't have the opportunity to just be. Not think about what's going on, not think about how I'm feeling, just enjoy the gift that Mother Nature has provided us with. This one, I love that I wrote this down because I remember making this a task that I had to do every day. Make a to-do list and celebrate yourself for what you complete. How many times do we shame ourselves for not completing the entire to-do list because we feel that we haven't accomplished anything? When indeed and in truth is that you have, even if it's one or two things, something got done. So the point of celebrating is to make myself feel better. Like, it's okay. What you did today was what you had the capability to do. Set a time aside to journal and meditate, even when things feel tough and uncomfortable. Giving yourself a self-love day where you tend to your mental needs so you can replenish your soul. It helps you so much. For me on Sundays, I shoot for once a month. I call it a spiritual Sunday. My phone is on Do Not Disturb until 2 p.m. from the time I wake up. And I have my own at-home retreat. Slow rising, make tea, journal, meditate, make smoothies for a few days, go outside and do nothing, stretch, do a face mask, and I like to try and learn something new that I'm interested in. It's time I set aside to pour into me, and it always feels rejuvenating. That's giving me chills. Because I remember I put it in my calendar, that date with myself, because that was a commitment to helping me feeling better, to just giving me some light. Because I've said before, like, I lost the light in my eyes. I didn't feel happy. I didn't feel like myself. I didn't feel like things could ever change. And so doing this allowed me to just have a retreat and feel like this day I can put myself first. Even if I'm feeling like shit, I can get up, I can make the tea, I can journal, I can create a safe sanctuary for myself. And sometimes that sanctuary look like I'm just laying in the bed until 12 p.m. and I got the tea and I'm journaling. It's not always this entire list. You choose what works for you and what you have the capacity to do. But the point is that you choose yourself. Burnout is held on an emotional, physical, and spiritual level. If you treat your body poorly, you will feel terrible. Therapy is great, but if it's not combined with movement, eating right, and play, you will continue to experience the same patterns. One thing I've learned is that enjoying your life and trying to have fun with whatever that means for you is such a healing tool for burnout. And the movement, moving your body, everything becomes stagnant when you have hip pain, back pain, headaches, your chi is not flowing, your meridians are closed. And so we want to find ways to open them. Yoga is great for that. Qigong, Tai Chi. Going to the gym definitely helps with relieving stress, but we want to move your energy. And so that for me has been big. Burnout is an accumulation of stress from overtime. It doesn't happen in a day. So why would you expect your healing to be so quick? Kind of alludes to what I said when I started this podcast. It's not a quick fix. It's not instant gratification. This is not something you're going to heal overnight. Hell, it's taken me about a year plus for this duration of my life. The first time I faced burnout in 2016, it probably was about 4 or 5 months. But in this time, so many things have compounded with my stress, my anxiety flaring up, financial instability, mental instability, relationships going up and down, questioning if I wanted certain people in my life. It all compiled. And so if I've been dealing with this for, let's say, 2 years, why would I think that in a week or a couple of months of therapy and just movement that's going to solve everything? As a high achieving woman, we put so much pressure on ourselves to get the job done. But when the job is yourself, you can't rush. This is not just something that you're going to check off. This is something that you have to constantly make an effort to become better every single day. Compound interest on top of each day, on top of each moment. If you're simply listening to this podcast and you take 3 deep breaths, that's helping with healing yourself. And if you do that every single day, every time you feel stressed, that's just a little way that you can help yourself with feeling better. You can't be an energetic match if you aren't in the energetic field. Sit and meditate to take on energy. I don't know what I was on this day, but she's right. You attract who you are, what you are. And so if you're in this state where you're feeling heavy and you're feeling down, how can we work on shifting that energy? Sitting with yourself is a way. Dancing with yourself is a way. Being artistic, painting, drawing, writing poetry. Get back to the things that you love. That's how you shift and get back into your energetic space. It's not always about doing tough things for nervous system regulation or even talking about our worst fears and traumas. Play is a beautiful way to get back in tune. And then I even wrote, as your transformational coach, I shed light on the areas you are choosing not to see that are blocking you from stepping into your body and being less in your head. If I could count how many times someone has told me, Tanisha, you're up here. You need to get in here. I'd be a millionaire by now if it was $1 for every time. High achieving women, we haven't learned to get back into us, into our body, and to feel and be fluid and just flow like the river. Be like a river. It has its ups and downs. Sometimes the water is chaotic, and sometimes it is moving so effortlessly that it blows your mind. The more and more we be analytical, that is very masculine based energy. We want to be in a balance between masculine and feminine, because if you're too much in your femininity as well, that can allow you to not be task oriented. They both serve a purpose. Everything in life does. It's a yin and yang, constantly moving, constantly dancing. And I want that for every woman out there, is to be able to check in with their gut. How do I feel today? Every time you wake up, how do I feel? What's my body asking of me? Did I get enough sleep today? Am I feeling moody? Is my cycle about to come? Get in tune. The more you're inside of your heart center, the better things can flow, and you can have clarity in your mind, in your mind's eye. The visions that you have for yourself, the goals that you want to aspire, they come from you doing less, not doing more. Simply looking out of the clouds and daydreaming. That helps you with your nervous system. We used to do these things as a kid. I remember literally laying on the grass and looking at the clouds, and we would say like, oh, this looks like a dinosaur, this looks like something else. And as kids, we do these things not knowing like this is what our soul needs. Or maybe we do know. But when we hit this adulthood, it's like, oh, that's childish. I can't do that. I got bills to worry about. But the more you worry, the more things happen to you, because you're in an energetic frequency of worry. So more bad things will happen. But when you're in an energetic state of joy, happiness, love, more of that energetic frequency comes to you. I've had to deal with acceptance of where I am in my life. Accepting, like, yeah, I do have bills. Yeah, my business isn't working the way I'd like it to work. I feel like a failure. And it's not fake positivity. Like, this is where I am. And it's also not self-loathing. It is being practical. That's fine. And then the other side is, okay, I know that that's the situation, but constantly worrying and being concerned and wondering where's the money going to come from is not helping me. It hasn't served me to date. So let me try something else. And that's what I encourage my clients to do. Try something else. You have been this way for maybe your 20s, your 30s, your 40s. Do you like it? Do you like walking around having a migraine? Do you like knowing that you're constantly suffering from back pain, which is involved with your root chakras? Or are you finally ready to make a change and do something about it? But you just need some accountability. You need some guidance. You need to just learn how to take it slow. So what I have been doing for myself is taking it slow, is just relaxing more. It's, if I do feel some stress because maybe I'm having a packed day, taking the time out for myself, making sure I do something that's fun, and sometimes just doing nothing. I love sitting in a dark room and I see the stars, and that's it. I'm just looking up at them. Sure, my mind might be going through certain things, and sometimes my mind is quiet, but it's a state of doing nothing. And that is super healing. I want the women who follow me, who are in my community, to keep that mantra of less is more. And within that, I have been creating more offers that are allowing stillness, rest, slower movements. I am now rolling out pretty much a body rebirth, but it's for slow stretching, for women who want to be more in tune with their body, who want to get their chi flowing and remove that stagnant energy. Hosting qigong classes, hosting slow movement classes in a virtual setting on a weekly basis. And it's going to be in the show notes where you can be a part of the membership. Membership is $25 a month. And we have a WhatsApp community, and we are having conversations in that community, because it's more about just seeing you on the mat, and you're going to be here for 30 minutes, which I purposely did because I know high achieving women are like, well, I got too much to do. I can't do a whole hour or 2 hours. So purposely it's structured for 30 minutes because you have that time. You can make that time. for yourself and to be able to get the healing that comes within these type of practices versus a high intensity workout. Help restore your gut health. So if this is something that's interesting for you, definitely check it out in the show notes. And I'm doing that in addition now to the Coaching 101. It's something where qigong has helped me with healing my mind, body, and soul, especially post my car accident where I wasn't able to do high intensity workouts. But I've really noticed how the energy flows through me when I'm doing the practice, how I'm more mindfully in tune with myself. Even especially if I do it outside, oh my gosh, like the way the trees are swaying and sometimes the butterflies coming by, everything energetically is a frequency that you're matching up with and alignment. And so I feel really good when I'm doing that. Something I've learned taking qigong and getting certified in it, they have laughter meditation. And I can only imagine when most people first see it, they're like, I'm not going to fake laugh. But laughing is so healing. Smiling is healing for your nervous system. And anyone can do it. But we always want these hard tools and like, what's the step 1 through 5? Laugh more. Even when something hard news comes your way, laugh at it. That's what my instructor taught us. And I was like, this is interesting, but it's true. You can't hold both frequencies at the same time. Mad and laughter. Try it. Try while you're listening to this, laugh. And if you have something going on that's terrible, see how you feel. It's interesting, all these different modalities, and the simplest ones are the ones that really have such a difference on our body. So I'm going to leave you with this today with a journal prompt question. Where in your life can you offer more stillness? And where in your life can you offer more joy? I love you all, family. Thank you for rocking with me for another episode. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share this with someone who might be needing this and who wants community. As always, I love you. Stay in gratitude, stay in peace. And until the next episode, take care of yourself.